So the British are making Filipino schools look dumb. What do you mean by that? Let's see this together.
Why global rankings unfairly undervalue Philippine universities? The ranking scandal no one talks about.
See, these
Here's a
scandals happen
controversial
everywhere.
truth. The top universities in the Philippines are severely underrated in global rankings, not because they lack merit, but because the system itself is fundamentally flawed. Every year, institutions like QS, Quacquarelli-Simons, and THE Times Higher Education,
They don't understand it.
both UK-based, release international rankings that supposedly reflect the best universities in the world.
I actually heard a thing that some of the times they would just rank you really low if they don't understand how your scale works in like in the system, because in every country it's different. The way they scale, like how should I say it, intelligence, or no, how they scale kind of like grades and everything. So if they don't understand it to an extent, they would kind of just rank you low. Am I correct? That's what I remember hearing in school by some teachers.
Yet only 6 Philippine universities made the 2025 THE list. QS, just 5. That's out of over 2,000 institutions in the country.
What?
Our national pride, the University of the Philippines, the national university of our country, is ranked below obscure schools in Southeast Asia, some of which aren't even respected in their own countries.
What, dog?
And Malaysian universities? They somehow leapfrog UP Diliman, UP Manila, Ateneo de Manila, De La Salle,
Is this a joke?
UST,
Must be, bro.
and San Carlos, Cebu.
And let's be honest, most of the engineers that are incredibly innovative too come from the Philippines. And I know this for a fact because I've met some of them, have seen some of them, and watched videos on some of them as well. So all those three check out. The reality is that there is some of the greatest, if not the best, engineers and or IT, anything. And let's not even mention like doctors, nurses, like, brother. And a lot of them from these universities, like, I don't understand. It's definitely something with like misunderstanding. That's what's 100% happening here for sure.
Year, despite having lower admission standards, weaker reputations, and less rigorous curricula. Other great colleges in the country, such as the University of Asia and the Pacific, UANP, Mapua University, Ateneo de Davao, St. Louis University in Baguio, University of Saint Lasal in Bacolod, Central Philippine University in Iloilo, CPU, Adventist University of the Philippines in Cavite, Holy Angel University in Angeles, Pampanga, and Silliman University in Dumaguete, among others, are completely ignored. So, what's going on? Because these rankings favor research funding, foreign exchange programs, and British-style structures, not real educational value.
It's the structure, bro.
What's worse, they don't even have actual data from many of our schools. Most likely, they just guessed and assigned whatever numbers they felt like, just to make their scam look scientific. Let's break down why QS and THE are dead wrong about Philippine universities, and why it's time we stop worshiping their deeply flawed metrics. Reason number 1, QS and THE fail to separate undergraduate and postgraduate education. First, let's ask QS and THE. What exactly are they ranking? Is it college education such as Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Arts? Or postgraduate education like Master's and PhD programs? Because the two are very different.
Yeah.
Both QS and THE claim to rank undergraduate institutions, yet their criteria are heavily skewed towards postgraduate research. That's a fundamental flaw. And seriously, what the heck does research have to do with an 18-year-old freshman majoring in, say, business management or mass communication? Do you think a teenager choosing a university cares about how many academic journals their professors have published in Luxembourg? No. They care about the quality of teaching, mentoring, board exam performance, and career outcomes.
Yeah.
Even science and engineering students, yes, the ones who eventually do research, don't touch anything remotely groundbreaking in their undergrad years. They do controlled, low-level studies, mostly to fulfill academic requirements.
Yeah.
Nobody's splitting atoms or discovering new species in their senior thesis. So why on earth are these rankings obsessed with billion-dollar research budgets and citation indexes when the majority of students will never even see a research lab?
I think it's because they're just obsessed with the idea of making it simplified. They don't want to go down the complex route where it's, it takes a lot more work to actually figure out and see the levels in which the standards are and everything like that. They don't want to do that. They just want to take the easy route and be like, they're at the bottom, whatever. Just put it there because this is simple to look at this or that. And what's crazy is they've already been flawed in a way from my teachers, even in the U.S. My teachers would say that it was flawed the way that they would go about it because of the things that they would do in terms of like rankings and stuff. So that's already been said as well from teachers here. My teacher's literally in class telling all the students this as well. So it's not even something that's like unknown.
Take Xavier University in Cagayan de Oro, an excellent Jesuit school. Their undergrads want to pass the CPA, engineering or nursing board exams, not win Nobel Prizes in biochemistry. But QS and THE doc schools like Xavier for not producing PhD theses, that's ignorant and unfair.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, undergrads are trained for professional licensure, PRC exams, not academic citations. That's our system. But do QS and THE even know that college graduates in the Philippines are assessed by the PRC?
Yeah, they're not adapting. See, it's easier to just not adapt to the way that they do the structure. It's easier that way. So they don't want to follow that structure. They just follow their own structure. Like, they don't do it. They don't know nothing. Then it's simpler that way for them. So they don't want to take the complex route. You can see
Do they know that most undergraduate curricula are intentionally designed to prepare students for licensure exams, not to pump out research? So when rankings ignore that context and slap everyone with the same research-heavy yardstick, they distort reality.
I mean, it's true. Yeah.
Reason number 2, QS and THE are clueless about the Philippine educational system.
Yes, I was saying this.
Let's be real. QS and THE don't understand how our education works at all. A, they misunderstand what a college means in the Philippines. In the Philippines, a college can also refer to a top-tier teaching institution, with some specializing in professional fields like law, medicine, business, architecture, or engineering. 2 excellent examples are the College of Saint Benilde, which is known for its strength in management and now boasts a respected architecture program, and Velez College in Cebu, a powerhouse in paramedical courses with a well-established medical school ranked 2nd in the nation. Many colleges in the Philippines operate independently and may not offer a wide range of graduate programs, not because they lack quality, but because they are laser-focused on delivering high-quality undergraduate education.
That is the thing.
That's by design, not by deficiency. Assumption College in Makati is another great example. It has produced top CEOs, 2 national leaders, and even world billionaires. So ranking it low just because it doesn't have PhDs crawling all over the place is pure ignorance.
Especially with what's coming out of it.
They don't understand the UP system, our national university.
Yes, the UP system. I've heard about this.
QS and THE lump the University of the Philippines into one monolithic blob, failing to understand that the UP system isn't one campus. It's a constellation of them, each with its own strengths, missions, and demographics. UP Diliman is the flagship campus, the intellectual powerhouse. University of the Philippines, Manila is the country's health sciences center. Then there's UP Los Baños, University of the Philippines, Visayas for fisheries.
Whoa, that's so cool, dude.
UP Cebu, UP Baguio, and UP Mindanao with their own specialties. These are not branch offices. They're independent, autonomous universities under the UP system. Ranking them as if they were a single, indistinguishable unit is like lumping UC Berkeley and UCLA into one bucket and calling it a day.
Yeah.
It's lazy,
Yeah,
ignorant,
it's simple.
and downright disrespectful. Worse, QS and THE don't even specify which UP data they used. Did they use UP Cebu's metrics? UP Baguio? Or maybe they pulled stats from UP Open University, which is mostly online and doesn't even operate on the same metrics? Who knows? They don't say. But if they've separated the UP campuses in the rankings, the Philippines would have more than 5 or 6 appearances in their global league tables. They butcher admit rates. The actual admission rate for UP Diliman and UP Manila hovers around 5% to 10%, depending on the year. That's more selective than many Ivy League schools. Ateneo sits around 18%, DLSU about 20%, and UST 17%. These are tight filters. But QS and THE, they somehow inflated the numbers beyond belief.
Oh my gosh.
UP Diliman, 12%, UP Manila, 51%, Ateneo, 42%,
Oh my gosh.
DLSU, 35%,
42%.
and UST, brace yourself, 91%.
What?
That's not an admit rate. That's a parking lot. They
Yeah.
just made stuff up. So what does this tell us?
That's a parking lot.
These
yo.
British publishing bodies are either sloppy or outright dishonest. And when your credibility relies on accurate data, that kind of error isn't just embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's disqualifying.
Yeah, dog.
What do you think? Is this just lazy research?
It's for
or
sure
something
lazy.
more shady?
No, I don't think it's more
Comment
shady.
below.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's just easier to do so. Like, you know what I mean? They're not really paying attention as like it's supposed to be important, so it really showcases like the colleges and everything, the schools. But the people who are doing it are most likely just taking the easy route. Like the easy route is just lumping it together. Like, dude, just put it at the bottom, bro. Just like, you know what I mean? They're probably just doing that. They're not taking the actual time to do it because they probably don't think it's that important. The people in that specific thing. Don't generalize the whole entire like the British firms. Rather that one with the certain specific people who are doing that and taking that together, the collective there. They for sure, the ones who are hired there for that, just take an easy route. Like this happens even with YouTube, for example. Like long ago, this is like years ago, and YouTube actually got in trouble for it. There was a thing where like, you know, you would get copyrighted by anyone. Like anyone could copyright you. But now you can't do that, right? There is certain things that still happen, but before you could just copyright anyone, and then the people behind the screens could, this is a true thing, by the way, a big YouTuber even came out saying like there is like people behind the screens who are selecting the copyright. Some of them were even being like racist and things like that. So they would pick and choose just based on their beliefs and like their standards rather than, you know, like the baseline, which is like, you know, is this actually copyright? No. If they just didn't like you as a YouTuber, the people behind the screens working for YouTube would like dislike you and put you down, and that's that, right? And they'll be like, nah, you deserve this copyright. But obviously this is being fixed now, and this was like actually said by a YouTuber because there was like YouTubers who weren't getting copyrighted for a certain thing, but then there were others getting copyrighted for that. And sometimes they would be people of color and things like that. So then people started picking up on that, like that's so weird. And YouTube, I'm pretty sure, actually fired a lot of these people. So this stuff happens, and it's not YouTube's fault. It's the people that are working there, and YouTube needs to be more vigilant on that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is happening here too. So there is some people working there who are just not caring, and you need to hire people who care, people who have like a reason to actually do it. Otherwise, you're just gonna get things like this, like just put it at the bottom. They don't really care. You know what I mean?
Reason number 3. QS and THE are obsessed with internationalization, like it's the holy grail of education. If there's one thing QS and THE worship, it's internationalization. Got foreign students? Global partnerships? Congrats! You're now a world-class university, even if half your classes can't function properly. But who actually benefits from this? Certainly not Filipino students stuck in classrooms where lectures slow down to accommodate international peers who struggle with English. Top Philippine schools like UP, Ateneo, and DLSU already operate in English, with students who communicate as well as their peers in the US or Australia. So why force these schools to adjust just to impress QS and TEE? Imagine a UP debate class with 30% of students fumbling through basic English. That's not diversity. That's academic drag. Unless you're admitting Ivy League-level international students with excellent English, this global diversity shtick is just noise. It doesn't improve learning, it waters it down. But QS and THE don't care. They reward schools for looking globally appealing, not for delivering quality education. Schools focused on national progress get penalized, while those playing the diversity game get trophies. So, to QS and THE, either learn how our system works, or stop pretending you're the global authority on education. Because right now, your rankings aren't just misleading.
Yeah, there's more to it.
They're dangerous.
Yeah.
Do you think Philippine universities deserve better global recognition?
Well, of course, yes.
Let us know below.
100%. You know, there's clearly a lot that goes on, and I feel like it is important to adjust this, to fix this, which is kind of why I was actually interested in watching this video, because a lot of you did link it over, so I'm glad I watched it, man. There is definitely a lot of insight into this specific topic that needs to be fixed, and so some people know and they don't feel put down by it, because it is true, you know. There's a lot of things that need to be adjusted. There is people behind there who sometimes are just very lazy about it. They don't really want to pay such close attention, because it is simply a fact that some of the greatest come out of the Philippines, so ranking them low like that, it's just obvious. And especially with the facts that he stated, like, it's just straight up laziness. It really is. So with that being said, though, I just want to say thank you guys for everything, and thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hey, if you liked it, leave a like. If you loved it, subscribe. If you want more, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, till next time, guys. Yeah, peace. Look. How good you been living? Wait, how good you been living? I've been living too good for you. I've been living too. Did what I did and I do it again. Every move that I make, I ain't feeling repent. Nobody believes to belief it's a friend, and you question your moves like you really won't end. Really?